everyone, new video, new story to plan, story number 6. As you can see it, we have our Google Doc containing all of our stories from the collection, and as per usual, for those of you that have already watched some of my videos or all of my videos, I wish. So yeah, those of you that did that, you know that this story that we're planning today is already available. Link is in the description. Anyways, for the previous stories, well, most of them, we used a bunch of prompts from the Wattpad account. I don't know, it was an account that made contests and challenges, I suppose. But today I wanna deviate a bit from those rails. Today I have kind of a story, a prompt of my own, I guess. So far we have been seeing and getting acquainted with these phenomena that happen in this fictional town that we created. And most of them are scary, creepy. But this time, I want a change of pace. Of course, it's still gonna be paranormal, supernatural, mysterious, a tad creepy, but something about it, I want it to be different. So I haven't picked a title yet for this one, but I already know of the special location that I want this short story to take place. I mean, of course it is in GrayBird Town, but specific location in GrayBird Town. The graveyard. So, the graveyard. Now for the POV. First, POVs are kind of harder for me to write. I prefer to write third POVs, but then again, it is a good chance to practice my writing. So I have already imagined how the story could be. I have a few images in my head about it, of how it's gonna begin and end. And for the beginning, a first-person POV would be really great because it would give us more insight on the main character for this story. The third-person POV would give us a better wrap-up, a better ending, and not a better, but easier way of telling it. I don't think I'm making much sense. It's hard to describe it the way I imagine it. But basically my mind is divided between first person and third person. I think based on the ending that I want, I will go, and for this short story, with third person view. For the main character, again, the gender doesn't really matter for this story. I do want to make this character somewhat special. They have an ability, not a majestic one, but even for GrayBird, even for a place like GrayBird, it is still out of the ordinary. The inhabitants of GrayBird Town are already isolated from the world as it is, but the thing that they all have in common is at least they have each other. They're all most of them are all in the same boat. Yeah, they have different professions, different lives, sure, different ancestors, but still, they are all in the same town. But this character, however, I wanted to be a bit out of that. They are even more isolated. More isolated from the rest. Is isolated from the rest of the inhabitants. And this is why I wanted first person POV for this one, because I feel like it would translate their feeling better, since they would be the one trying to describe it. But I guess I'll forego this. Timing. I want it to be nighttime. For the scenery, there's a special scene that I want to include in it, and it would be so much, it would feel so much better at nighttime. Word count. It should be as usual, I guess. Okay. 2K as usual, I suppose. Now for the phenomenon. Although the main character is somewhat special, I want to include a second character in this, and they're going to be every bit as special as the main character in their own way. But the main phenomenon, the main one that I want is the one concerning the graveyard. What happens in there and what is special about it. So we saw that in GrayBird Town there are many places and many periods of time that are special in a way. We saw that the road to GrayBird was special, and it's the same for the graveyard. But however, the occurrence in the graveyard was even more special than the rest, and we'll see why. Okay, so in the beginning, we introduce our character, in their natural element, I guess, if we can even say that. But then again, it's natural to them because they've lived with it their entire life. We dive a bit into their ability, and what makes it even more special than the rest. GrayBird. The middle. Things escalate because of their ability, and they are forced to move places. They accidentally walk or venture into the graveyard, where they discover that upon entering the grounds, a drastic change happened for them. And they began to notice odd things about the place, things they never really lingered on before. They stumble upon a marvelous scene there, but they didn't get to approach it much. They meet a second character. Oh man. This person is the one that prevented them from going closer to what they previously saw. The stranger introduces himself and explains a few things about the graveyard. And this is the part where we learn about the magic of the graveyard. What's with it, what's up with it, and what happens in it, and why it's so special. In the end, I struggled a bit with the ending of this one. I don't want to say too much, but basically, the stranger reveal their true nature and intentions towards our character. I want to add something here before. Okay, so they noticed something odd. They noticed that something was off, out of place in the image they were seeing. I wanted to add this part for this ending because it will be a bit of a clue before the reveal. So this one is linked directly to the ending, to the nature of the stranger. Let's see what we have. So in the beginning, we introduce our character, the reason their personality is shaped into what it is, and we reveal the nature of their ability, what it does to them, and how it happens to isolate them, what it does to isolate them from the rest of the population, and it prevents them from having a normal life as much as a resident of that town. Well, as normal as the life of a resident in GrayBird town can be, I guess. In the middle, their ability somehow gets even more intense. It escalates things, and they lose their cool, and drives them out of their element, and they venture around, they just move, they walk around, they accidentally, without plans, walk into the graveyard, and that's where they notice a drastic change happened, and that the graveyard influences their ability in a way they didn't expect. And then they start to look around themselves at the graveyard, and they notice something that they didn't notice before setting foot on the grounds, on the territory, in the perimeter. And then they see that special scene that I talked about. But before that, even within that scenery, within the image that they noticed, that they saw, they noticed something was just out of place, basically, with everything that they were seeing. Even as new as it was, they still noticed that, because it was always something prevalent in their ability, with their ability. Their wanderings are cut short because of the second scenery that they see. This one's marvelous, and they decide to approach it, but they're stopped by a stranger, a second character that dwells in the graveyard. And this person, a stranger, gives them more intel about the graveyard, the reason they live in the graveyard, the reason they stay there. They talk about more people that stay in the graveyard and why they do that. That's something special about their graveyard. They don't give too many details, but still enough for the person or our character to understand why it made the drastic change in their ability, like the moment they entered. And in the ending, the stranger, that's why the stranger gives more details about their nature and how they can't keep that secret anymore. That will have an effect on our character, because their nature is the main reason they're stuck in that graveyard, just like many people there. But I am not going to give much more information about that, because in the end, yes, it is a plan, a general plan of the story, but I don't want to give too much either, as usual. And of course, as I said before, the link to the story is going to be in the description. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, nothing stops you from leaving a like, or commenting, or subscribing. I don't know, whatever you want, I guess. But I still appreciate it. I wish you to have a good day or night, depending on where you are now and what time it is there. I hope to see you very soon. So until then, stay safe. Bye-bye.